name is Garima and I'm doing this YouTube vlog to become a better pet parent. So today I'm going to talk about ticks and fleas. We all know ticks and fleas, right? It's those two words that every dog parent kind of hears come up again and again when they go to the vet. But let's in this video try to explore what exactly these ticks and fleas are and why we need to be wary of them. So tick fever is a certain kind of disease that happens when your dog has a tick infestation. There are a lot of other diseases that ticks and fleas can also cause as well, like Lyme disease, a bunch of other really complicated names for diseases as well. But the primary reason we should kind of be wary of them is because they cause a lot of really hard symptoms for the dog to cope with. It could be anything from a cough to unexpected weight loss to renal failure, and in some extreme cases even death. So that's why we need to be wary of these guys. But let's back up and talk about what exactly ticks and fleas are and what we need to do to kind of help our dogs avoid them. So ticks and fleas are basically these insects, right? Ticks are four-legged parasitic animals and fleas are six-legged parasitic animals. The way they kind of latch onto your dog is different. Ticks just latch onto the skin, and if you've ever found a tick on your dog's fur, you'll realize that they've dug their claws or whatever it's called into the dog's skin and they're sucking blood from your dog, right? And you'll find that they could be really bloated, and that bloating is essentially your dog's blood that they're sucking up. Fleas, on the other hand, don't latch on. What they'll do is they'll keep moving on your dog's fur, and they'll keep flying onto wherever they think they can feed on your dog's body. So that's basically what they do. Now, where do they come from, right? So these are animals that in warm, wet kind of climates really prosper. So the summer and monsoon months are the time when their population doubles. It's like the Kumbh Mela everywhere with these ticks and fleas all over the place. We don't really get to see them, so we don't realize कि इतने ज़्यादा हैं. But हमारे कुत्तों को realize होता है. So you'll find that a lot of the ticks and fleas that you find on your dog's body will be in certain places, right? Now, why is that? Your dog, when they're going out for a walk or when they're just exploring in the house or in the garden or whatever, are going head first, right? They're going with their nose first, they're sniffing something, their ears are falling to the ground, their toes are obviously always on the ground as well. Sometimes they're taking a seat right on the grass. So you'll find that these areas are where you'll typically find ticks and fleas. So their ears, their toes, their groin area, around their butthole. So these are all places where you should thoroughly check for ticks and fleas. Now let's talk about what you need to do to make sure that you're removing all of these creatures from your dog's fur, right? It's really important to do a daily kind of comb through of your dog's fur, especially if you've got a furry dog. I'm fostering a Lhasa Apso at the moment, Button, if you've seen in the other videos. And they've got a very peculiar kind of furry coat, right? And you don't realize that there could be ticks or fleas hiding under the coat. So it is very important to do a daily kind of comb through for two reasons. One is that you need to know all the bumps and patches that exist on your dog's fur, because only then you'll know if there is something out of the ordinary there. So one is that, and the second is, of course, while doing the comb through, that's when you realize that there is an insect stuck to my dog's fur. A grooming schedule actually has to be very simple. All you need is a comb. Now, depending on the kind of fur your dog has, it could be really narrow-toothed or maybe a little wide-toothed as well. If you've got a furry dog like a retriever or Lhasa Apso, like I said, you do need a narrow-toothed comb to do this, because that's the only way you'll actually remove all of these foreign bodies from your dog's fur. So the idea is just to comb through after you take your dog out for a walk, and then feel around with your hands as well if you find something that is out of the ordinary. Now let's talk about what do you do when you actually find a tick, right? One is that your dog is typically going to give you hints, right? You'll see that your dog is either going to scratch in a particular spot or they're going to try to bite that area, that is usually a sign that there is something there. So whenever you see your dog do these habits, always check. And if you do have the splendid luck to find a really bloated tick, there's a very specific way that you should be capturing it and disposing it. Ideal situations में you should wear gloves and use tweezers, but कई बार होता है कि वो नहीं होते हैं आसपास, right? अगर your dog is obviously really scratching and whatever, and you search and you find something with your hands, advisable, yes, to wear gloves, use tweezers and completely remove them from the skin. But honestly, you can do it with your hand as well. Just be really careful that you wash your hands and don't touch anything else before you've done you thoroughly sanitize your hands after that. So you've got the tick, right? You can't just crush it and you can't just dispose it in the trash, because two things: if you crush it, blood will splatter and it's your dog's blood and it's gross, so please don't do that. And you can't just dispose it because ticks have this uncanny habit of just reattaching to a new host. So you don't want to collect all of these ticks and then just leave them in the trash only for them to come back again. So there's a very specific way in which you can dispose of them. One is either you flush it down the toilet, or if you don't have a toilet nearby that you can use to flush it down, what you do is, actually this is an even more difficult thing to do, but yeah, simplest is flushing them down the toilet. But if you really want to go like one step ahead, get like rubbing alcohol and douse them with that rubbing alcohol, wrap them up in tape and then throw them in the garbage. Yeah. Cool. So that was what I learned today about ticks and fleas, and I hope that this video helps you as well. The other thing that I just want to talk about is the importance of doing this in a routine, right? It's not enough to just do it once a week or once a month, because you'll realize that if you leave even a week's gap between these comb-throughs, your dog could really have a lot of ticks and fleas and be under a lot of discomfort, and they can't talk, right? So there's no way for them to tell you that this is what's happening to me. You need to be the one who is taking care of them in a really involved way. So I mean, we face this problem as pet parents as pet parents ourselves, me and my co-founder Arnav. And what we actually made is this tool that helps you keep your schedule on track. It's called Sploot, like the name of this channel. At the moment, it's an iOS app that you can download from the App Store. So the Sploot app lets you record all of your dog's medical reminders. So that's any prescriptions your vet gives you, any dosage reminders that you need to give them, any deworming appointments. And it also helps you create a schedule for your dog, right? So for example, if your daily grooming ritual is something that you want to fix for 8 p.m. every night, right? You can just set a reminder on the app and then it'll remind you every day at 8 p.m. for you to do that. I found that it has helped us be aware of these are all the tasks I need to do in a day to keep my dog healthy. And yeah, I mean, check it out. Let us know if you find it useful or if you think we can improve it in some way. Thanks.